bear with me here. I wish I had Ian on for this topic. Coleco, which is Coleco Holdings LLC, which is really a subsidiary of River West Branding, which is a company that goes out, River West Brands, a company that goes out and buys dormant trademarks that are either gone, that no one's filed a re-upped on, or they acquire ones that exist. River West Brands. That's what they do. They do brand acquisition, which at that point then they license out that brand / trademark / name. If you're not familiar with trademarks, what's a trademark? It's not a copyright. Copyright's for intellectual property, such as a movie, a game, a book. It's for something that exists in terms of entertainment or an actual something that a creative endeavor. We'll just say that. That's copyright. A song. A patent is for an actual product. How something's constructed, what something actually does. You can make a patent on the fucking shoelace. The person probably patented that originally. And for a time, no one else could make the shoelace without a license from him. Or, I don't know, a certain brand of windshield wipers. If it's different from the rest, you can patent that. My grandfather once patented a type of squeegee, I believe, or something. Never did something with it, but he came up with his own spin on it. That's a patent. What a trademark is a name or a logo or a picture that is used in conjunction with a product or with a brand or with a company. That's a trademark. The most simplistic of the trilogy of, I guess, property that you could, get rights to use. So trademarks have to be re-upped for specific uses. Again, usually with a company or with a brand or with a product. That's usually what trademarks are used for, or for a website. So that's what River West Brands LLC does. So with the whole Coleco Chameleon debacle, when that happened, Mike Kennedy thought, I'm going to take the retro VGS and rebrand it with Coleco's permission to get the license to make it the Coleco Chameleon. Coleco, the actual company, hasn't existed for at least 20 years. They went out of business. That company, the good old Connecticut Leather Company, founded in 1932 in New Jersey, in Connecticut, headquartered in Manalapan, New Jersey, who produced the Coleco Chameleon. They didn't produce the Chameleon. God damn it, Chameleon, you're on my mind. They produced the real system, the Colecovision, the add-up computer, and probably the most famous product of all, Cabbage Patch Kids. They were big. They disappeared in the late 80s. And then the brand was revived in 2005, and now it's held by Coleco Holdings LLC, which was created under River West Brands. So in terms of the Coleco Chameleon, before I get into the meat of the story, what probably happened was Mike Kennedy probably had some sort of license deal with them, some sort of royalty where for, I don't know, every Coleco Chameleon system that was sold, maybe they kicked back, $3, $4, $5, $10 to Coleco Holdings, and that's how they made their money there. I don't think it was an upfront deal there. Ian and I gave Coleco Holdings the huge benefit of the doubt when it came to this. We thought they got suckered in by Mike Kennedy. They didn't know that Mike Kennedy really had nothing to offer and was trying to get on with smoke and mirrors just to complete a Kickstarter successfully, and did whatever he could to get to that Kickstarter and was hoping to get the seed money by hook or by crook, which is what he did or attempted to. So we think that Coleco at that point was just like, okay, we'll just license you this out, not knowing the fucking disaster it was going to be. But it did show bad judgment by Coleco Holdings to do that. If you're gonna spend money to buy a dormant trademark that hadn't been important for 20 years in order to license it out to make, to make mini tabletop. I don't know if someone's, it's been licensed out for, how Act Games does the Sega Genesis all-in-ones. There has been an all-in-one Colecovision that has come out. So that's smart to do that. It's smart to, you call it whatever you want, squatting on a trademark, but if no one's bought the rights to it or done it, do it yourself, register it, and then if people come to you, be like, okay, yeah, I'll let you do the hard work, the actual work of producing a product like a mini arcade or a new ColecoVision or a new product. You do the work, and you just pay me for the rights to use the good old Colecovision name or Coleco logo and slap it on your product, which is basically what Coleco Holdings exists now. They're not making their own products. Unfortunately, it blew up in their face, and oh boy, did it blow up in their face with Mike Kennedy. So I spoke to the one person that was trying to partner with Mike Kennedy, Chris Cardillo, who was sort of the front man for River West when it comes to Coleco Holdings. And I guess by throwing Kennedy under the bus, as soon as it appeared with the DVR capture card at good old Toy Fair, it's been over a year already, that this was a hoax, that they separated themselves and said, what the fuck's going on? Chris kept his job. I spoke to Chris. I'll tell you about my interactions with Chris at, Game On Expo. That's the one that Gamester 81 puts on in Arizona. The convention, I'll be returning to that. It's a fun convention. But Chris approached me there, and I had no ill will towards Chris Cardillo. I don't think he had any ill will towards me. And I even said to him, what was interesting about the interaction with Chris, I made it a point at the time to say to Chris in person, to his face, that I don't think you knew what was going on with Mike. I think you were not aware of it. And you just got caught up with a bad actor. I said that to him. What was strange at the time, though, was that Chris didn't acknowledge what I said. He didn't shake his head yes. He didn't shake his head no. He didn't acknowledge that, yeah, you're right, it was a bad deal. He didn't respond at all to that, which at the time I thought was okay. Maybe he felt embarrassed by it, but I don't know. I'm hoping that's all it was. And I brought it up again at the end of our conversation because I think he was going to invite me out to they're doing a Coleco convention in Edison, New Jersey. So I think he invited me out to it last year. It's going to be, I think it's later on in the year. I have no interest in going by way because it doesn't look like a good show. That's a whole other issue for me talking to Chris. But when I mentioned the Coleco Chameleon again at the end, again, stone-faced, poker face, didn't mention anything about it. Didn't really think much about it until now. Because now, Coleco Holdings, and then Chris Cardillo are now involved with something else. So right now, they are strong-arming a Facebook fan page based upon trademark infringement of Coleco and Colecovision. It's very strange what's going on. They're trying to shut down and get into trouble a Facebook fan group of Colecovision, a fan group called Colecovision Fan. They submitted several trademark infringement DMCA, which are Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown notifications from Facebook by Coleco Holdings, which again is River West Brands and Coleco underneath them. Due to them posting photos and videos of ColecoVision homebrew games that are published on the page. This is a little confusing now. So basically what's been going on is they're in the homebrew scene for, the last at least 15 years. There have been homebrew developers making ColecoVision games. And some of them have been releasing, their own releases with boxes, box art, and then using the ColecoVision logo and font because, this is for ColecoVision. Why wouldn't they do that? And no one at the time really cared. It's sort of a dead brand. So they're deciding to act on it and try to shut down the fan page. But the issue is that, to me at least, a fan page, you can debate the rights or wrongs of trying to enforce your trademark and infringement thereof. You acquired the rights to it, you legally have the rights, that's fine. But a fan page in and of itself isn't infringing on trademark. A fan page, it's not like they're the ones producing the software, or I can understand if they were trying to sell software with trademarks that were owned by someone else. They're just posting pictures on there, right? So it would be like Nintendo coming after a website, reporting on, we always talk about Nintendo going after these homebrew games, like the Pokemon games that people make, or the sequel the Super Metroid sequel that was made, where you know that it's copyright infringement, right? Where it's like, okay, this is weird. But it would be like if Nintendo not only went after the people making the games, which would be the right, but what if they went after a Facebook group or a website reporting or talking about the game itself? Not even saying offering that game for download, which would be illegal, but just talking about it and showing a picture of the game. What if Nintendo slapped them with a infringement notice? They would not be in their rights to do that legally. Just reporting on it and talking about it. And that's what's going on here. I think what happened here, unfortunately, and I'm going to the Colecovision fan page now, which has almost 27,000 likes, by the way. So this is keeping Colecovision alive, I think, in the hearts and minds of many. This is a console that for its time was fairly popular, but still lost out to other consoles at the time, especially like the Atari 2600. So it's not like the most fondly remembered console in terms of popularity, but I love the ColecoVision. It's my most favorite console from that era, from that quote unquote first generation of games, if you want to call that 1.5 generations. But they're just posting videos and pictures. So I think what happened here was Riverwest Brands / Coleco Holdings, and then Chris Cardillo, who I don't know if he's the enforcer here. Sounds like he is. I can't make the full assumption, but it sounds like he could be involved with some of the communications here. He is going after this fan page, I think, because he's afraid of the Coleco and ColecoVision trademarks being associated with games they don't want to represent their brand, and especially re-releases of games that are using other copyrighted games that are already copyrighted, if that makes sense. So this is a situation where I think Coleco Holdings is starting from a place of, I have the right to enforce my trademark for ColecoVision and Coleco, which they absolutely do, but they are applying it incorrectly. And they are overstepping their bounds, going after a Facebook fan page. To me, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Thankfully, Coleco Holdings failed to shut down the fan page. They don't have the legal right to do that, and I think Facebook would probably agree with them about that. I think what Coleco Holdings should be doing is apologizing to this fan page, and then going after the real perpetrators. You want to go after the home brewers that are selling products using the Coleco or ColecoVision logo. I am all for that. If you want to enforce your trademark to do that, go for it. If you want to force them to do a generic, like works on ColecoVision, and getting rid of the ColecoVision rainbow logo and that font, go for it. But don't go after a popular fan page that is helping keep alive the system, and is helping keep alive the name that is associated with the trademark that you own, that you picked up off the scrap heap, that has been relevant since the late 80s. You should be working with the fan page, because their success is your success. If they promote ColecoVision, they help your dormant brand be relevant again. And it may never ever be really that relevant again, because it was destroyed with the Coleco Chameleon. That's another argument for another time. But the fact of the matter is, there is still a market, not a big one, for ColecoVision. There is a homebrew scene. Again, not a big one, but there is money to be made. Hell, I think the most money, to me personally, you get someone to, and I commented Chris Cardillo on this, those tabletop, you get LED tabletop reproductions. I got them here. Get Frogger out there again, if you can get the rights from I think Konami owns the right to Frogger now. Yeah, get them. Get like Donkey Kong, if you can get the rights from Nintendo to make a Donkey Kong one. I don't see that happening, by the way, but just trying to do that. Make those tabletops again. Slap Coleco on there since they made the originals. I love those tabletops. Do that. Make an all-in-one console. Have someone make it, and then have your name slapped on there. That's fine. Do that. That's how you should be spending your time. If you want to go after the homebrew developers, yeah, I can see that. If they're putting out a porno game and slapping your trademark on there, if you don't like that, yeah, I can see that. But don't go after the fan group, because they're not producing the product. They had nothing to do with it. It's just a weird situation. I can understand Coleco Holdings if you're upset about if someone's putting out games that they don't own. I'm looking on Atari Age right now, who's recapping what's been going on there, and I think Chris Cardillo of Coleco Holdings responded there, and it's back and forth. If someone puts out a game that they don't own the IP of, like Bosconian, for example, and doing a Colecovision version of that, or doing, let's see, I see a picture of Operation Wolf, Twin B. Someone's re-released a Zaxxon game, Mappy, Goonies, Dragon's Lair version, Rally X, Super Pac-Man. Those homebrewers absolutely have no rights to either the trademark to those games or movies, and they absolutely have no right to the IP itself to put those out. And you should be upset if you are being associated with those games and you have your trademark slapped on those boxes. Go after those homebrewers. Put the pressure on them. Work with, instead of filing a DMCA takedown, why don't you work with the people running the Colecovision fan page? Work with them. Say, hey, listen, this is a situation. Can you work with me not to promote this garbage? Do that, but don't overstep your bounds and try to get the fucking page shut down, because it makes you look like an asshole. And after the Coleco Chameleon debacle, you need all the help from the community that you can get. And the benefit of the doubt that many in the community gave Coleco Holdings and River West Brands for getting into bed with the slimeball Mike Kennedy, and we gave you the benefit of the doubt with that. Now we might start to question ourselves and maybe thinking that either you knew more than you did, or you were just really fucking stupid in giving Mike Kennedy the keys to the kingdom when it comes to your brand, when it came to Coleco and ColecoVision. So try to repair the damage to the community that really is promoting your brand and has been keeping it alive for the past 20 years. Because without those people, the brand that you picked up off the fucking scrap heap would be worthless.